This is the 40% rule from Can Hurt Me by David Goggins. And today we're going to talk about this. And better than that, I will prove if the 40% rule is true or not. We all think we are doing our best, right? Yeah, maybe. And before we start this video, let me give you a little bit of context what was going on in my life in 2025 and the impact that the 40% rule is having in my life in 2026. For the past 5-6 years, I always been trying to improve my life, reading, exercising, being careful with my environment so I wouldn't mess up. Back in 2022, I read the book The Miracle Morning, which was a game changer for me. And from this book, the best takeaway was having the purpose to wake up early every single day. And since that time, I've been waking up at 7 a.m. and have a very peaceful morning for myself, reading, have a nice breakfast, and then heading to work. But in 2025, a friend of mine came to me and said, "Yo, can you help me at work and just come 1 hour early?" And I say definitely no. I would have to skip my routine in the morning and I wouldn't be able to read and do my things. He insists and he said, "Come on, wake up 1 hour early and come to work. You're gonna get some extra money." And I was just some extra money would be good, it's always welcome. I decided to give it a try for 2 weeks. I had no idea about the 40% rule. And in my mind, at this point, I was already doing my best. But this is definitely not my best when I look at myself now. This simple action of waking up 1 hour early and going to work gave me £3,000 extra throughout the last 12 months. If you think about someone making, let's say, £27,000 a year and it adds up three more thousand pounds, it makes a big difference. I can pay for my holidays in Brazil with £3,000. Now things will start to get way more interesting because in April this year, 40% rule came across. I had to reflect and think about this for so long. At the same time, I was training myself to do a half marathon because I had decided that I would improve my life. And when I was reading that, I start to reflect and have flash memories. And this fact that I just told you was the first thing that came to my mind. When I signed up for the first half marathon, I didn't know I would go through so much pain and I would go through so much change, not just physically, but mentally. When I was aware of the rule and preparing myself to run my first half marathon, I knew at some point I would have to use the 40% rule. And that's exactly what happened. When I was running on my pace, very well controlled, during 15 kilometers, everything was good. But around the kilometer 16, I faced the wall. It wasn't my body, it wasn't my legs, it was something in my head. And as I was aware about it, that would happen at some point, I had to redirect my mind towards something different. That's when, first, I decided to have more positive thoughts when my brain was just telling me to stop. And second, I had to visualize the people by the track in events where people run marathons, half marathons. It's very common to have people cheering up, having banners, and like magic. At the kilometer 1920, I was looking at my phone on Strava, and when I realized I was very close to cross that line, my energy came back. Why? At the kilometer 16, my brain was telling me to stop, and just 10 minutes late, my brain was fine, and I had energy again to finish and cross that line. At this point, I'm 100% sure that the 40% rule is true. And there's one thing that I will tell you at the end of this video, if you stay with me, that you can play around with the 40% rule. But for now, please make sure you subscribe and you like this video. It helps so much for me to grow my YouTube channel and keep making more videos. And if you don't like it, give it a dislike as well. Or just drop a comment telling me how do you think I should improve, because I'm in this journey in the long term, and I'm committing myself with self-improvement. And I generally believe that the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So I will definitely improve in my videos as well. Thank you. If I can earn £3,000 extra just based in 1 hour extra of work, being aware that I can do more, I can also start a YouTube channel on the side after work during my weekends. Like today, it's a proof of the 40% rule being applied in a real time in my real life, because I have my full-time job, which is my 40%, my 50 hours a week of work. And during my weekends, I'm making videos for the YouTube to change, to get 10% better. The best thing about this book is not just the 40% rule, the cookie jar, and things that if you read this book, you will find. The best thing about this is what I'm also applying to my YouTube channel. This is real life history. It's not just the theory. This is not just like most of the self-improvement books where they just talk, but they don't prove. This guy, he proved it himself with the 40% rule, with the cook jar, going far and beyond his limits every single day. I think even right now, this guy is probably trying to do something that most of the times people would say it's impossible. You have to try, because the last chapter of this book is named What If. He just started pushing and getting 5%, 10% better every single year. And now around his 50s, he's collecting a lot of things, a lot of rewards, a lot of things in his cookie jar. If you read this book, you will know what I'm talking. And if you didn't, read and find out what is the cookie jar. I would love to ask you to run a half marathon. No, I'm joking. I would love to ask you just to sit down for 5-10 minutes, reflect, and if you want to go above the 40%, take notes and write down situations that you thought you were doing your best, but you still could do more, and situations that you did your best and you went above and beyond for something or for someone. Finish my first half marathon was not something easy. I had a lot of problems during my training. I had a knee problem. If you watch my video, I talk about this, and I had so many ups and downs, but I didn't give up. I didn't give up. And the reward that I had when I crossed that finish line and I took this medal means more than 21 kilometers. There's always more to give, and we need to first analyze if it's worth to give more than 40%, and if it is, push 10%, 15%, whatever. When you feel like it's painful, go a little bit more. I say that I would give you something to play around with the 40% rule, that it's working for me and hopefully will work for you as well. This is a mind game. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna play with your own mind. One example, I finished my half marathon in 1 hour and 48 minutes. And my next one, I want to finish in 1 hour and 30 minutes. And my pace per kilometer needs to be 4 minutes and 16. You need to know the numbers. You need to plan where you want to go. So instead of planning myself to run at the 4 minutes and 16, I will try my best to run and be comfortable running in a 4 minutes pace. It's so hard, and right now it's completely out of my reality. And that's why I want to try. Because if I do my best to run at 4 minutes per kilometer on the race day that I need to run at 4:16, it will be a little bit comfortable. It will be a little bit better. So the takeaway that I want to give you is play around. If you want to hit 7, plan yourself to hit 10, because the worst case scenario, you will hit 7. So push more and more. Set the bar a little bit higher and see the results. If you ever tried the 40% rule, tell me what happened with you. And if you didn't try, make sure you try and tell me the results. I'm 100% sure that you look at yourself and say like, wow, that's unbelievable. If you're still here watching this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate your attention and your time. Make sure you like and subscribe, drop a comment, and I see you in the next video. Thank you.